Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're talking about slope, and we're going to start with slope from graphs. Okay, some people say rise divided by run. Rise is our y's, run is our x values, that horizontal movement. Okay, but we're going to call it change in y over change in x. These triangles right here are just shorthand to tell us change in y divided by change in x. Okay, it's delta y over delta x, but that delta is change in y divided by change in x. And when we say this, what we're actually saying is that we're finding the difference. So we're subtracting our y values and then we're subtracting the x values. So that's what we're going to use today to find what this pattern is. It's a ratio. So non-proportional has a ratio if it's linear, but it's not just y to x because it has the additional amount. So we're going to find slope, and here's how we do it. First thing we do is we want to find 2 points. Remember, 2 points that we can name. So I see right here, I can name 0, -3. And I see up here, I can name 3, 1. So I have my points. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stack them because I want to be able to find the difference. So I'm going to stack 0, -3, 3, 1. Okay. I'm going to label everything here x, y, my coordinates just to know, because next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to find the change in y, which tells me to subtract the y values. That's what change in y wants me to do. And a really big note here is when we subtract, we're going to subtract the bottom minus the top. Okay, bottom minus top. So we do bottom value is 1 minus the top value is -3. Really important that you set it up this way, right? If you struggle with what that is, this is the same thing as 1 plus 3 because negative minus a negative is the opposite of the negative. So 1 plus 3, this is 4. Okay, so change in y is 4. I'm going to do the same thing to find how x is changing, right? But this time I subtract the x values. Okay, so I have bottom minus top, so 3 minus the top is 0, which is 3. So change in y, change in x is 3. Okay. Next thing I want to do before I get too excited is I want to see, can I simplify? If I can, I need to simplify. If not, I'm going to keep it as a fraction in simplified form. 4/3, 4 and 3 can only be divided by 1 each, and so that is already simplified. So our slope is 4/3. Okay, it's positive. Slope dude would say that this is a positive slope. So my signs match. And then one final connection here. Slope gives me my driving directions. It kind of tells me how do I move, so that y's are my vertical movement, x is my horizontal. So I should be able to go from one point to the next using my slope. What that means, if I start at 0, -3, I go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm in line now with my new point, and then I go 3 to the right, and it gets me to my next point. And I could continue that pattern over and over and again, and I'd be able to create my line. That's what slope does. It gives us a whole lot of information. Okay, let's try it again. Here we go. I need 2 points. It's linear, so I know it has a ratio. Okay, so 0, 2. And then I could do 2, -4. I could do 1, -1. Any point that's a nice point, so I'm not making up my values here. Okay, so I'm going to stack them. I'm going to label, make my brain happy here. And then remember, the ratio is change in y divided by change in x, change in y. So I always do my change in y first because I know that goes on top. Change in y, remember we subtract the y values, bottom minus top. So bottom is -4 minus the top is 2. So -4 minus 2 is -6. All right, change in y is -6. Notice how I'm keeping everything organized. I'm labeling, I'm putting pieces where they go instead of having my work scattered all over the place. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with my x's. Remember, I subtract to find the change. Bottom 2 minus the top is 0. So that's 2. So my change in x is 2. Next, I want to simplify. Okay, -6 divided by 2 is actually -3. I could write that as over 1, or I can keep it as -3. My slope is -3. Okay, -3, sloped it would tell me nice, negative, right? So my signs match, and then one more time showing you how this works. This would tell me go down 3 to the right 1. So let's see, if I start at 0, 2, I go down 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I went too far, guys. I need to be able to count. All right, 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, and look, I'm at another point. Okay, I could go down 3 more. Oh, I did the wrong color. Down 3 more, and then over to the right. Okay, that's what the pattern is. I could keep doing that and create my graph if I know what my slope is. Okay, let's do it again. Hang with me. Okay, 2 points I can name. So I have 0, 1. I have 3, -1. I could use -3, 3. Okay, any 2 points that I can name. I'm going to stack them. Going to label. Keep my brain happy. I'm learning stuff, right? Okay, change in y divided by change in x. Notice I say it every time I do it. I'm telling myself what operation it is, right? Okay, change in y. Again, that's my subtraction. All right, bottom minus top. -1 minus top is 1. So -1 minus 1 is -2. Change in y is -2. Change in x. Again, we're going to subtract bottom minus top. So 3 minus the top is 0. So I get 3. All right. Remember, I have to ask myself, can I simplify this? I could plug that into Desmos and see real quick that this is already simplified. So my slope is -2/3. Slope dude would say that this is a negative slope. Nice, negative, right? So my sign matches, and again, just the proof, I go down 2 to the right 3. There's my point, okay? Let's do one more. I think you're getting it. Here we go. First, I need 2 points that I can name. So I have 0, -2. Then I'm scanning my graph and sneaking in right in this corner. There's 5, 2. Stack them. Label them. Tell myself I'm looking for a change in y divided by change in x. And now I go find my numbers. Okay, so change in y. Remember, this is subtract bottom minus top. Bottom is 2 minus top is -2. See, I'm telling myself all the pieces. 2 minus -2. It's not 2 minus 2. It's 2 minus -2. That double negative means addition, so this is actually 2 plus 2, which is 4. You could double check in Desmos. Okay, there's 4. Change in x. So let's subtract our x values. Bottom 5 minus the top is 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. So I have 4 over 5. I have to ask myself, can I simplify that? 4 and 5, the only thing they have in common is 1. So this is already simplified. So my slope is 4/5. slope dude would say this is puff, puff, positive. So my signs match. Yay. And again, up 4, to the right 5. That's my movement. And let's just check. Up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's that positive 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that positive 5. Okay? That's how you find slope from graphs. Find your 2 points, stack them, find the differences, and then your ratio is always changing y to changing x. Changing y divided by changing x.